have an announcement to make to y'all, to the people of America. I was at this here McDonald's on Dorset. I was just disrespecting in there.
I think I'm gonna go to berserk.
I can't fuck and do trig at the same time.
He kissed me. And I put my head back up to look at the sky and my back against the rail. And it just... we were gone.
She makes me feel intelligent. Makes me feel like I can do things with how clever I am. Win things. That I'm unusually clever.
The energy's wonderful. God, I tell you, the energy's what everyone needs, but...
They would come like thunder to the door of their enemies, and they would knock, and they would raise their axe, and they would go berserk.
Did you ever ask why you ate bread dripping and them on the North Shore fed steak to their dogs?
If you can eat this, you can eat anything.
What could it be, I hear you ask, that's jutting into my ass? I'll fucking tell you what it is. A cheap as shit, plastic, summer sports girl looped earring belonging to only one woman.
It's amazing how much of my life has been determined by a quarter-inch piece of plastic.
I don't want to be crude, but her vagina is amazing.
I've got dead mothers, I've got severed limbs, but it's nothing new. And it might be enough to make some people cry if they read it, maybe even write a check. But it's not going to be enough to make it stop.
She fell back over the kitchen door and hit her neck on the kitchen counter, paralyzing her from the waist down. Still want to compare fucked up families?
I love looking at it and touching it. And she reads the same novels as me.
And I said, you're supposed to offer an extra McRib with the McRib meal. You ain't gonna believe it. She looked me up and down. And she said, well, it don't look like you need the extra McRib. Excuse me, bitch!
And I struggle with God so much because I can't forgive myself.
Your selfishness isn't selfishness because the other person wants it just as much as you do.
Ask me who has been mother, sister, and whorehouse to you for the toughest, loneliest year of your life, and you don't think you got enough nourishment.
If you have something to say about that child and my husband, then say it. But don't, and I repeat, don't think you can, what, spare my feelings? Because I am not a child and do not expect to be treated like a child in my own house. Is that clear?
Why can't you do one single thing that you say you're gonna do?
You've killed me. Do you think because I am poor, obscure, plain and little, I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. It's just too difficult to be alive, isn't it? To try and function.
Listen here, close. Any minute they're going to come around that corner looking for a tussle because they think one of us is responsible for shooting Don's wife. And you don't need to be here, all right? Danny, I like you, and you don't need to get beaten, all right? Me mum would fucking kill me if she thought I brought you here just for a fight.
I'm not asking you to commit an act of violence. Just take me somewhere and leave me.
When Picasso took a shit, he didn't call it sculpture. He knew the difference. That's what made him Picasso.
I'd be the first to welcome a bunch of city tourists like yourself. Show you the way things work up here.
I'm not the kind of guy who buys last-minute plane tickets to New York and then tears across town and then runs up 6 flights of stairs and knocks on his best friend's girlfriend's front door and gets her to run off and elope with him because they spent one thoughtless, crazy, and inexplicably romantic night together.
She looked the same as the night before, but somehow she just wasn't my little baby dinosaur no more, you know?
I can't have anyone hold me. So if you sleep until you're 18, think about the suffering you're gonna miss. I mean, high school. High school, that is some prime suffering. You don't get better suffering than that.
A good-looking girl should not have to spin her own bean as often as I do. But you know, I know what it is. I know what it is. No one thinks the nice little Oriental girl likes to dive for tuna.
So if you come to the McDonald's on Dorset and you see a lady named Charlene in there, you throat punch her in the cooter. I don't give a damn.
If that's all you wanted me to be, why didn't you just teach me how to cheat and swindle a fortune and leave it at that?
Danny, it's my fight, all right? I shot her.
So if I were you, I'd think twice before crossing us.
Okay, yes, it's a mistake. I know it's a mistake. But there are certain things in life where you know it's a mistake, but you don't really know it's a mistake, because the only way to really know it's a mistake is to make the mistake and then look back and say,
Fuck you, McDonald's. On Dorset. Not all the other ones. I like the other ones.